Hello. If you've just discovered what some have termed the Mandela Effect, or what some call the quantum effect, or just plain ME, or some call it quantum shifting, you might be feeling a little bit disconcerted. What I found was that the whole Mandela Effect turned my world upside down. I was affected about 2 years ago. And there are many channels that you can look up that have all the different examples of changes, such as Nelson Mandela, where many people believe that he died. I believe he died back in 1982, and in my memory, he never got out of prison. But others have the memory that he just recently died and that he lived a long time to old age. Some believe that I believe Gene Wilder from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory died a long time ago, and now I hear he lived to be an old man. And I've seen pictures and videos of him. Um, Berenstain Bears. I remember Berenstain. There's just many. The monocled man on Monopoly. I remember. Um, but there's also a whole bunch of personal things that I remember and that have also changed. And I would like to get into some of that, but also deal with the emotional effects that this has also had on me and many of my friends that have experienced it too. When I first realized that my past memories don't fit the present, it is truly like my safe, predictable world was shattered. If you're experiencing it, it can just break down something inside of you, and it can be very much a traumatic event. And I've heard some of our fellow affected call it falling down the rabbit hole, such as Alice in Wonderland did. And once down the rabbit hole, things only become more and more strange. If you too are feeling this way, I have some things to share with you that I did to help get through it, especially at the beginning when it can really feel like your whole world has been shattered and something's broken inside of you, your heart, your soul, and your mind a bit. Right now, in the beginning, you may be experiencing very strong emotions such as fear, panic, hopelessness, irritability, brokenness, sadness. I personally cried off and on for months. Remember, you are truly experiencing a trauma. The world that you once knew is now a bit unknown, and your very existence has changed. You're not dreaming, even though you would like to wake up, and you would like things to go back to normal. The definition of trauma is the first one is a serious injury or shock to the body, as from violence or an accident. The second one is an emotional wound or shock that creates substantial, lasting damage to the psychological development of a person, often which could lead to neurosis. Or it could mean an event or situation that causes great distress and disruption. I myself went through, I could not believe that my Bible had changed, and that was a very, very distressing, frustrating, frightening. Literally, my Bible, I was taught, could never ever change, but I had to be honest with myself, and I have seen many changes. And it caused me severe emotional pain because that was my best friend, and it still is. I just had to go through some adjustment. And in dealing with all this, I had to be able to heal and accept that these changes, with these changes, that I found that there's stages that I went through, and I would like to share them with you if I may. The first phase I had was the discovery phase, that reality has kind of gone crazy. The second one I went through, and I did this for quite a while too. I went through denial where I wasn't gonna I'm not gonna allow it to change. I'm gonna believe that my Bible's always been the same, that Berenstain was always Berenstain. But then I could not, the more that I would do that, the more changes I would see. And it was either accept it or choose to be a little bit crazy and batty. Because the only thing that really truly makes us sane is if we are honest with ourselves and honest with the world around us. And I had to finally, I went into step, what I call 3, which is the search phase, where you try to find as much information you can about this effect and also about others who are going through it. The next one I went through was the acceptance phase, where you know this has happened, and so now you want to find out what happened, how. Finally, the next one began for me, which was the healing phase, where you start to accept the changes even though you don't know why it happens. And then the next one I'm just experiencing it now, is where you want to help other people, that you're healthy enough, that you've accepted it enough, and you're not fighting it any longer, and it's become your normal once again. And that's the phase I'm at now. It's the phase of helping others. I would like to put together a few videos on this, on these different phases, and explain what I've gone through personally with the Mandela Effect and how I was able to heal through it. And I believe that all people that have gone through it have experienced quite a trying time, especially in the beginning. And I'm going to hope and pray that I could help you a little bit just by giving what I did. I find that this whole journey has made me a much stronger person. Going through the Mandela Effect, having the world not be so firm, it's helped a lot. I feel like I have a much stronger faith, and with that, I would just like to say thank you so much for listening and coming here. And I hope that I can put together some more information that might help somebody that is struggling with going through the Mandela Effect. I would like to say the little prayer. It's my Irish grandmother's. It's that, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And anyone struggling in here, I just pray that you have peace and understand that there is a reason and a purpose for every single thing that we go through.